Okay, welcome everybody. I'm just going to go over my trades that I took today as well. Just do another recap just to see what I did right, what I did wrong. So similar again to yesterday. So I'm just going. So what I did, I took three trades today. The first two were the same direction. They were both buys. The first one didn't work out. But then I gave it a second chance. So that's what the second trade is when it did work out. And then the third trade was one I took in the US session. So I generally try to take one in the UK Open, one in the US Open. Okay. Reasons for that is just because it's quite an emotional decision taking trades. So I don't like to take too many because especially when you're watching, I don't want to get too emotional. So I want to keep quite level. And then after having a trade, as long as I don't want to skip back and forth between pairs. So I usually stick to one, watch it, find the setup that I recognize, and then I'll execute. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'll just go over to the charts. I'm just going to give my thought process behind these. Okay, so here we have pound yen. Now I'm bearish on pound yen initially in these early stages. Okay, so even though I've got these bullish bars, this is the monthly chart. Okay. So on the monthly chart, we have been on quite a bullish run, but this is where we're at. We're at like a monthly resistance, okay, monthly neckline, and because we're the start of the month, like second day into the month, I'm expecting that there could be a retracement first, okay, before we can likely continue, because pound is quite strong. We've broken through above this resistance, went up to the next resistance. Now we might see a bit of a retrace before we keep on going bullish. I'm going to go to the weekly chart. Now you can see that we're sort of approaching, there's a neckline up here. There's another little, like these sort of necklines. If I just bring this down, you can sort of see that we're at that kind of level. So it's quite a sensitive area that we're in. Okay, so go drop down to the daily. Now, yesterday closed bearish, so I'll just zoom in. We've got a bearish high test bar, pin bar, inverse hammer, whatever you want to call it. Either way, this is a bearish bar. We've got resistance being formed. Okay, so my bias is short. I do want to take this short, at least until like if we are in an uptrend. We've got these higher highs, higher lows being created. Okay, there's our cycles. Okay, so we've got a little bit of consolidation here, and then we ended last week quite bullish. Then we've got yesterday, first day of the week, first day of the month, we've got a bearish bar. So this could be the start of a bit of a retracement. It hasn't got much of a bottom wick though. But what will usually happen, do we expect that price will come straight down in a hurry? No, most of the time you see it's got a top and a bottom wick. So we could see a retracement, push up, and then come down. Okay, so I've got that in the back of my mind that I don't mind going up to see a top wick before we come down. Okay, you can see that there was no real news today. There's a little bit of GDP news on what was this? The house prices early in the day on euro, which is sort of correlated with pound. We did have some like GDP. On like Spain and France, but that shouldn't really impact the pound too much. Okay, I'm going to go to my 4-hour chart because I don't trade the Asian session because of my timing. But so this is the last day of the 1st of February. So I'm just going to skip forward and going to go through. Okay, so this was leading into, this was the Asian session. These two candles here. Let me just get rid of this. Okay, I'm going to go over now. What we see. Okay, now I've got my bias is short, but I've got these bullish 4-hour candles being printed, which is fine because this could be creating like the top wick of the daily candle before we break the lows and then continue down. So I've got two biases in mind. I've got my overall sentiment. My bias is bearish for these first couple of days of this week, but my session bias, separate to my overall bias, my session bias for Asian session the start of the UK session is I wouldn't mind taking it long. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to my 30-minute chart. Now, this here is like the Tokyo Open, and write this down. But what I really see a lot of, if we have quite a volatile Asian session, typically the UK Open doesn't move a lot. It tends to fall into a range until like the New York Open. That's what I typically see, just from studying it and just from what I noticed. Okay, so if we go back, there was a little bit of movement here, but like you can see like quite a move during the Asian session, and then during this UK Open, it didn't really move until this New York session started. Go back another one, you can see a bit of a little move, consolidation. We had a little breakout, but then it didn't move again until the New York session again. So what I was looking at, okay, when I come to my charts, I get there at 6 in the morning. First thing I do is I'll mark off my support and resistance. Okay, so I had it like this. Now I was a little bit indecisive here. I wasn't sure if I should be going for these wicks or if I'd be looking at this being my opposing level, where these wicks are rejecting off. I hadn't had a cup of coffee straight away, but I was still sort of waking up. First thing I saw was this, okay, 6 o'clock. So this was closing at 6:30. And I thought this was the move. I really thought this was the move. So I did have my line here, and then I readjusted it to up here. And what I was looking at, I saw this has no bottom wick, and this could be the breakout. But I was holding in my mind that I wouldn't mind going long for a little bit. And because when we do have this Asian session, a big bullish move during the Asian session, typically we can get a fake out. So let me just zoom out. If I was thinking that this could be a fake out, what I'd be looking for is the next candle. I don't want to sell. I want the next candle. If it closes back up into this range, I'd be looking to take a buy, because typically if it tries to push down, gets rejected, comes back up into the range, it'll pop out the other side. If I was looking left, my opposing levels would be, I'd have a look like this would be a range on your very low time frames, but that would be like a first target here, because price to come down, create some support, come up, create some resistance, come down, create some support. So we've got these like lower lows and lower highs. Okay. So I'm keeping that in mind, that if I pop back up, I'm going to take a buy and I'm going to look up, and that'll be my first target. Okay, so let's just go one more candle. This is what I was expecting for. This is great. This is really what I wanted to see. Now, let me just, if I get rid of these things. Okay, so I executed a buy here. Executed the buy. What I was expecting the price to wick down to my entry, and then come up. And this was my trade setup. Okay, at this time, I went to the kitchen, got a coffee, and when I came back, I'd been stopped out. For it was a small, because it was a bit of an aggressive entry. I'd only put on half a percent risk for this, and it didn't work out. And I got, pretty quickly I found out this wasn't going to work. Then I thought, okay, what did I do? So I did quickly look over to my 15-minute time frame. If I go to my 15-minute time frame, I realized I had drawn my support wrong. So I really should have gone back and then kept it on that original level that I had over here. And this makes a lot more sense. We've got wick rejection, comes down, hits support. Okay. And then if I go back to the 15-minute, now I've got, it's sort of, this is the real range. So really I was just buying in the middle of the range, which is no bueno. No, don't do that. Now price came down, rejected this area, came down. Looks like we're breaking it now. We've got a little problem area just here. Okay. So at this stage, I just, took the loss, took on the chin. No FOMO, didn't want to try avenge my loss and then get in for a sell to continue down. So I waited another 15 minutes. Let's go next candle. Now you can see that we've got a big bullish candle, come back, retested the highs. This is what I was seeing here. And then on the 30-minute, now it just makes a lot more sense. Just makes a lot more sense. This came down, came up. Now this is the real fake out. This was the real fake out. And on the 15-minute, it was just popping back up into the range. Oh, where's my lines? Okay, there we go. So I was still long. I still had a long bias up to this level. So I wanted to give it a second chance, knowing that like if you, this is a pattern that I recognize. Okay, so I was going to enter down here. This would be my stop loss. I think with spread, got me to about, I think I got in around here. I gave it a little bit more room though. So this was 624. Yeah, so I gave it like a 10 pips to about here. And then my take profit was up here. So depending on how you want to trade this, like I see this, I see candles, I see price, how it moves, but this is also, let me just get my pen. Okay, this is also a head and shoulders. Okay, so here, got this left shoulder, come up, came down, came back up, and I'm envisioning this. This is what I'm expecting to see. So this would be an upside down head and shoulders. This would also be divergence if you had like, if you use another indicator, MACD or whatnot, or stochastic RSI, take your pick. But typical divergence pattern, overall bias is bullish for the session, knowing that this was the big move in the Asian session, and then typically during the UK session, it will just range. Okay, so that was what I was thinking. Went forward, another candle, come back down, closed underneath my entry. Okay, so I'd gone in, and at this stage, I still thought I'm just going to leave it. So close back underneath. Now, if I start breaking the lows, I was going to close 50% of my position, and then if I had 2 losses, I'd be done for the day. Keep going. Price rejected again. Came back up, closed in. Now at this stage, I was in profits, and I was pretty confident at this stage that it was going to continue up until this level. Price came in, wicked up. Okay, you can see took my take profit. With commissions, I was a little bit more in profit than my loss, so I was up a little bit at this stage. But I sort of just said, I was risking 0.5%. The previous one was 0.5%. Then with commissions, it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so that was my second trade. So first entry, stupid entry was here, and it was a really tight stop, really tight. It was I shouldn't let it was just early. So at this stage, if I was just a bit more patient and then just waited for it, I would have been a better situation. Also, when this one closed down and then we started breaking the lows, I could have scaled out 50% and taken not quite a full loss, but I did, mainly because it was like 0.5% risk as well. And yesterday I was in profit, so I was sort of risking just a little bit of my profits that I'd made yesterday. Made it back in the second trade. This one was a nice trade, so was a little bit in profits for the rest of the day. Okay, so that were those ideas for the UK session. Now, just going to go back over to my. I'll just leave that there actually. Now, so this was the second trade. Go back to the 30-minute. Now, what I do is I'll just sit and chill until the New York session. So I'll just go forward. Actually, let's see, the price sort of bounced around a bit. Wasn't breaking underneath the support. So this is sort of validation that where I had the support was wrong before. And now this was like the true level. So do go back and have a look and see where your level could have been, because that's going to be, most of your trades are going to be, just because you had, where you drew it, you created the mindset, and you might have done all the, followed all your rules, And then when you go back, it might just be your overall analysis at the start what was incorrect or could be improved on. Okay, so this is what I'm always trying to improve on. Where could I change my? Was it trade management that I messed up? Was it my original analysis before coming to the charts? Was it my strategy? You know, maybe I just didn't follow the rules. Was it FOMO? Was I feeling impatient? You know, could be many things. Anyway, so let's move on. So where was this? This was now. You see, big rejection. Come back up, leaving like a destination for price to continue down. It's showing that the market is thinner to the downside now. Thinner as in because, like, you know, we've got fairly clean rejections up here. And this time price came down, came back up. So, you know, it's testing the waters, like dipping its toe in. Let's just go forward again. So you'll see that now this is sort of that time between the UK session. So this becomes like a little bit of a twilight zone. I don't want to take, like, I know some people were taking sells around here. I really didn't want to take sells because between the UK session and the New York session, it will get some side-by-side candles. So like see here, side-by-side, you get like red, green, red. We'll go back to the previous day, green, green. But like you see, it just doesn't really seem to have a lot of follow through, okay? So I'm always wary of that. Okay, so what I can do, we'll go forward. Okay, you'll see price sort of just consolidating. I'm going to shift my support down now because now I've got 2 tests at this level. So now this is my bigger range. Okay, so now I'm still, like, this could be the high. This is the top. I'll go to the 4-hour chart. This could be the top of the top wick of the daily candle. So these bars here are the daily candles. Oh, sorry, these are the 4-hour candles. And now I've got this, like, I've got a green candle, bullish. Now I've got a bearish 4-hour candle. So this is resistance being formed. Okay, this is resistance being formed. This is current candle. So at the time, this was all we could see. Okay, so but we've got resistance formed, and prices importantly, price has sort of broken this low. Okay, we've got like higher, come down, made a higher, come down, made a higher. So this is the last level that price made a push up, and now we've broken the lows. Okay, now we've broken the lows. Now we've got a lower high, because this is a high. Now we've got a lower high, and I'm anticipating price to come down, retest these lows, and beyond. So I need to respect the 4-hour lows as well. So we'll put in a support. This is like the 4-hour support. Go back to the 30-minute time frame. I wish these lines would stick, but we'll go 30-minute. I'll stick on the 15 because the lines is staying. Okay, here we go. So here's my support. Now I've just got to wait. This is the New York session starting, and it's a good idea to keep track of when these bigger candles are, like 8 o'clock. See, 8 o'clock, this is UK time. So 8 o'clock is like when the big push from, like, this is when the banks open. So you get a bigger candle at this time. Now this is New York session, so 12 o'clock, they're 5 hours, I'm 5 hours ahead. So this is 7 a.m. 7 a.m. New York time. So the real volume could come in, like, you know, an hour and a half later. Let's go forward. Okay, we've got a test of this support. Okay, a test of this support. Volume's going to come in pretty soon. Okay, so I actually took this one. Let's just go. Get one more candle. Okay, now we've got a close below. So if I had my line in at the neckline here, now I've got a close below. So this candle has done something that this one couldn't do, this one couldn't do, this one couldn't do, this one couldn't do, these ones couldn't do, this one couldn't do. Okay, we've got clean candles to the left. Okay, so there's little levels here, but if this was much of a problem, then these ones wouldn't have got through so easily. So I'm anticipating like similar movement down as I had here, these candles, okay? Kind of like this. See how we like had a big candle down, big candle up, and then this over here was another big candle down. Candles weren't getting stuck. So I thought once we could break the lows, we'll come down. The first level could be this rejection wick. Then once we get past that, we should pop down until here. Okay, so I put an entry in after this candle. I put it in here. Take profit was down, where was it? 383 was where 143,383 is where I got my take profit. Stop loss, I gave it 10 pips, okay? So you can see my entry was at 14355. This one is at 14365. 10 pips. If price started rejecting and closing above these highs, I would do something about my trade. I'd be like closing 50%. So it was all set. I was in this trade at this stage. Go one more candle, and it was just a straight shot down. Hit TP. This one was 1.5 to 1. Okay, 1.5 to 1. Here was replicating these clean candles. This one, so took closed full position here. Not sure if it would break through here. I didn't want to see price bounce up, and then come up here and like sort of take my entry, kind of like what happened yesterday in yesterday's recap. But I'm going to take profit. If it comes back, forms new resistance up here, I could get in again if I wanted to. But you know, this was my third trade for the day. I sort of over trading by the stage. I was already up 2% now with this one for the entire day. So I was just going to call it a day then. Yesterday was a winning day. Today was a winning day. So up nearly 3% for the week. So far, so good start. And then it's NFP on Friday, so I don't want to push it too much. Even if I stop trading 3% for this week, sort of align along my monthly goal of at least 10% a month. And then what happened afterwards was I couldn't predict that was really going to happen. I could have left a runner on. So in hindsight, I could have left a runner, which might have been a better idea rather than closing. I could have closed like 80% and then left some on, but because it was like it's easing into this month. And then, no FOMO. Even though it does do this occasionally, it's just, oh well. And it sort of makes sense now because when we look at the 4-hour chart, you can see, this is current still, so you can see we're sort of rejecting this. But where does it come down to? This was the first level of support. Next level of support was here, okay? And you see it's really rejecting off this. Go to the daily level. Daily. You can see that we're closing now. We're closing back bullish, but we're not closing above these opening prices. We've made a lower high and a lower low. So could we see more bearish sentiment to come down? Okay, possibly. So I think today was a good day. There's a couple of mistakes. Like I really wish I didn't jump in early on that first trade. Just wish I was a bit more patient, but so be it. Now I'll just skip forward. We'll just see what happened. Exit replay mode. Yep. Okay. Then price rejected off that support. Created the support, and now price is sort of making its way back up. So overall, good day. So I thought I'll share my thought processes with you based on pound JPY. Now, pound US was something similar. So I have got other videos about the sniper entry, the 180 phase changer. So I'll go to that pair because this is quite interesting. Okay, so you got daily. Let's just bring this up. Okay, so you got daily. What do we have? We've got resistance. We've got this range formed. Okay, so there's a range. Now we've got the candle. This is similar to what I took with pound yen, but on the daily, okay, we've got candle closing below. There's another little level up here, okay, but if we go to the 4-hour chart, I'll just pop these EMAs on because that's, you know, yellow's below the blue, so fast below the slow. We've got a low formed, broke, it's pretty much equal low, but come up, created resistance. Now what I was looking for, I didn't take this trade, but when we start breaking the lows, okay, we start breaking the lows of this 4-hour candle on the hour chart, like convincingly, like not just a smidgen, like, you know, quite a few pips. Go to the 1 hour. Now, this was that daily level. I'll just remove this because this is the area. Now, this is not enough. This is not convincingly, okay, because it's too small. Like if I measure that, okay, it's closed 1.7 pips below. So it's just not convincing. Price pulls back. Now we get another low. So this one being lower. Now that's the stage where, like, this is convincing. This would be my entry then. Entry to be back at the 4-hour lows. Stop loss goes above this candle because it's got a wick on it. Take profit, or first time I'd be doing something about my trade. I could be at least reducing risk when it gets down to here, either by bringing my stop loss. I should leave it just above the candle, or so you could secure some profits and bring your stop loss to above the candle, and then you can just trail it down. If you just want to take 1-to-1, that's fine. But this was a nice clean trade. Good opportunity for wins. If we go back to the 4-hour, you can see that once we did break the lows, it just continued to fall. So there you have it. There's going to be my recap for today. 3 trades, 2% or 2.1%. So far so good. So I'll just leave it there. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Bye bye.